the playback. All right, you guys, we're recording. So hello, team. Hey, Fit Fighter Nation. It's Wednesday night, October the 4th, and we have an awesome special treat tonight. We have Isabelle Daikeler on our call tonight, and she is just one of the sweetest, most kind-hearted, caring individuals I've ever met. And you guys, I know you know who she is, and I'm going to give her a quick introduction and kind of share with you a little bit of our vision for tonight's call. She's the co-creator of Shakeology, the creator of Daily Sunshine, and she is just one of these moms in the world that is doing nothing but fighting for health in our homes. And that is our mission as a team this year, is to bring health into the home. And that has come to me by hearing Carl speak and hearing Isabelle speak. And it's something I feel really passionately myself, because the health of my home started with me as the catalyst. And we have some incredible products and solutions that we can share with our families and with the families that we meet and have the opportunity to impact. And we hope tonight that you gain a lot of education, you gain a lot of confidence, some inspiration on how you can expand this vision and actually use it as momentum to help pay it forward in more ways than you even know, as we bring health into the home. And so I know Isabelle and I kind of connected earlier and chatted a little bit, and she's excited to share this information with you, to dig in deep, she said, but she is excited to hear from you too. I told her a little bit about our team. And I also told her, I said, I'm not really sure everybody's using Daily Sunshine in their homes. I'm not sure it's in everybody's homes yet. And so, you know, we hope tonight that you're able to understand a little bit more about this product as well. But I think holistically, just how we can help our families be healthier and just be that catalyst of change, you know, that's showing up every day to inspire our families to be healthier as we lead our families and lead our communities and our teams. So Isabelle, you know, one of the things that really I connected with you was when you were in Punta Cana and you shared your story. And that was the first time I understood your why, you know, and we always talk about that as coaches and when we work with our clients and challengers, like why is this worth fighting for? And I think that's really cool, because we heard how you struggled with your own nutrition. And I believe you said, didn't you have autoimmune disease or autoimmune disorder? And I thought that was really neat. And it was something that was very powerful to me. I don't know if you want to touch on it at all tonight, but I just wanted to thank you for sharing your story, you know, when we were there in the Dominican, because it really helped us understand a little bit more about why these products are so important and how they can heal us. So I'm going to turn it over to you. And I would love for you to just kind of introduce yourself a little bit to us tonight.
I think you did a great job. I don't want to leave out all the other amazing products that I created with my partner, Darren, and of course the whole R&D quality team that we have at Beachbody. Darren and I could not do this by ourselves. We need people with suits, my white suits, I call them, to put it all together for us, to know how to work extraction, to know how to test plant and mushrooms and fruit and vegetables and all that stuff. We need people to travel all around the world to source and test the farms and the soil and interview the vendor and the suppliers. That's not Darren and I. We don't know how to do that. We can ask questions as, you know, more kind of lay people, but we need experts that know exactly what to ask. And so we have dozens and dozens of people on board with us creating the Shakeology. So I know that, you know, the story in Punta Cana was sort of the first time, I think, that I came out and explained where it came from, really, Shakeology and all the other products in a way. But specifically Shakeology, because I've been more in the background and not really in the forefront, mostly because of my child and because of my health, because I got better from that immune challenge. And then when I gave birth to my boy, I thought I was going to trek everywhere with him on my back and all that stuff that you see in the movies. And just like most things, it's not like in the movies. So I ended up, I was giving a home birth, and it did something to my pelvic floor and I've been in rehab ever since. It's been 9 years. So a person that adores to work out, like you don't have to pay me to work out. Like I've been missing it like mad. I have not been able to do that, and I've had to sort of rehabilitate my body slowly. I'm just starting to do a few things here and there. I'm very excited, literally like 2 weeks ago. So I did like 5 pounds dumbbell bicep on a little instability device, and I was thrilled. I felt like King Kong. So you know, from a person who used to sprint and do a limping lift with 50-pound bar, 100-pound bar, deadlift, all that stuff, and planks. I could stay on a plank forever. So here I go again. Once again, it seems to be, and there's a reason why I say all this, it seems to be very much part of my why, meaning that even though perhaps, and I say perhaps because I really don't have a sense of how people view me, this idea of health and everything is great, and I don't know, all these ideas that we have about other people. My life has been a constant falling on my face. So I've been falling on my face more often than I can remember. And I've learned from it. And I've gathered compassion from it, and gratitude, and awe of the human body and the human spirit, because somehow you never give up. And I had that prior to my child, and now cut to I have my child, and I'm flat on my back again. So for the first several years, I couldn't pick him up. I had to breastfeed him on the floor or on my bed, laying down, not by choice, but by necessity. You know, all the lovely things I wanted to do with him as he was growing up as a toddler, I couldn't do. I couldn't go up a sidewalk because it would mess up my hips, and I couldn't walk after that. So it's been a very long way back once again, and I got even more intimate with the body. So I came from a place of health, initial health. The health itself came crumbling down, and then the body. I had a car crash. I couldn't walk for 2 years. I was told I was going to limp for the rest of my life. I rehabilitated that. No limps. And then my birth, and here I go again. And it's, I have to say that, you know, you can come bitter, and you can be defeated, and you become a victim, or you can grow and evolve and learn and gather a crazy momentum, because now it's not just about me, it's about my son, it's about my family. So nobody can stop me again. And I'm having the time of my life, because all the stuff that used to bother me really doesn't bother me. I know without a doubt that I could lose everything, the house, everything, if I have my health, and my son is healthy and with me, and my husband is healthy and with me, and my stepdaughter is healthy and with me, and on it goes. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to make money again. I'm going to get another house. You know, it's like you realize how unimportant things are, and how health and love and spirituality, heart, is all there is. And those are my why. It's always been my why, because for some reason I never had a life where these things were not kind of stripped away a little bit from me. And I have to come back, and I come back by learning, by studying, by not giving up, by trying and testing. No matter how many times stuff didn't work, I refused to let it go and kept trying new things, new combination, new source, new alternative doctors, new help. And so that's me. And so nothing has come easy, and it's still not easy that way. So to me, the platform of Beachbody, being like the scarcity thinking, fear-based choices, I get it all. Like I said in Punta Cana, which is called, that really pressured me. I was uncomfortable doing that. It really pressured me to tell my story, and I see that it was right, because I see that it's helped you. For me, when I was at that place back in those days, I was broke. I borrowed hundreds of thousands of dollars on my credit card, and I was already negative on my credit card because I had had a car crash where I couldn't work, and I was not a legal alien at that point. So the money thing went insane, and I paid off stuff for 10 years. So you're talking to someone who understands being broke, understand being scared, and understand that I need to make choices that are vital in order for me to stick around, be around, get better. So even in those days, I would borrow money. I did what I had to do to get the best nutrition, the best roots, vegetables, the best of everything that I could possibly find, because I knew without my health, there was nothing else coming my way. So I am not afraid of tackling that with tough love. I really am not. I earned the right. And I say that because I'm hoping that nobody else has to go all the way rock bottom. They can find out about these things and get it in a way that is packaged in a way that's easy. So the Shakeology and the Daily Sunshine, since those are our focus tonight, are packaged in a way, again, Shakeology with the help of Darren, and Daily Sunshine very particular to me as a mother. That's why I created by myself with the team, because it was very, very family, very much about being a mom and the family. And it was something very dear to me to be very present and completely there, to own it so I could speak like that. The Shakeology is a much more complex formula. I needed somebody to help me out with it. And I wasn't as healthy, and my boy was young. And so now I'm back, and with different challenges, but stronger, better, more available. And to tell you that, in my opinion, no excuses, none, are worth not getting the best. And what I did with the Shakeology, and what we did with the Shakeology, and what I did with the Daily Sunshine, is put all that I know, all that I've learned, and in terms of the Shakeology, all that Darren has learned as well, in a place where you don't have to do all that research and that testing. And we have a team that can gather stuff from all around the world to gather the best. That's the principle behind it, is that don't fall on your face. Don't hit rock bottom. Don't be in a desperate place. It's not worth it. Your health is not the place where you go cheap. And I also have worked one-on-one with hundreds of families. So I have sat down and I've looked, when they can be honest with me, I have looked at their spending habits. And there's so often so many gaps where you can not indulge in some areas that are just not worth it, or that we don't realize. And in order to be able to afford a meal for $4, in order to put hierarchy in your spending. Somebody was just doing a post, Brad, and he realized that he was spending like 200 something a month on some kind of healthy soda, very healthy. And it seemed like nothing, just a little sort of box thing of those very healthy soda that he loved. But he started looking at how much it was costing him, and he realized that it was super expensive. And it was a soda. However healthy that is, it's a soda. So now you compare Shakeology, that is 60 plus ingredients, the best that have been sourced from all around the world, put together in a synergistic way to enhance your immune system's ability to deal with all sorts of stresses, the life. And same thing with Daily Sunshine. I looked at what are the key components, the basic fundamental of blocks of food that kids require in order to grow up healthy. And I found the best. I looked at the ratio and I put it together because I realized as a mom and as I did research that practically nobody was getting it. We all talk about it. We all know we need it. Like, let's say fiber. We all know how important it is. We all know we need at least 25 plus 30 gram plus of fiber, and almost nobody gets it from all sorts of research done on that subject. It's fiber. It's cheap. We don't do it. We don't eat the food that gathers that much fiber. So there's the concepts and there are the doing. And I realize, and the team and Darren, but let's focus on the Daily Sunshine. I'm always very careful to honor everybody involved in the creation of our products. So when I use the word I always think of everybody. And then when I use Daily Sunshine, I own complete responsibility of what I'm saying. So in the Daily Sunshine, we realized that most kids were low on some basic vitamins. Most kids did not have the minimum requirement of fruit or vegetable. No way they had any fat, good healthy fat in their diet, not enough protein. So basically it's so hard to get them to eat the right stuff. Parents can't get it done. And then you add to that the allergies and the sensitivities and the real challenges. It's a heck of a job just to get that done. And that was the basic principle behind the Daily Sunshine. It's just not happening. Do we want them to go through our route? My parents didn't know anything about what I'm talking about. They did the best that they could. But we do. We know, and we know that their world is a lot more complex and complicated than our world was. So why not give them that yummy, delicious, dessert-like tasting drink, smoothie, that is 3-in-1. It has fruit and vegetable, protein and fat, fiber, and a few added extra vitamins that are lacking greatly in our kids' nutritional panels when we do the tests. So why not give it to them, talk about it, I made it super simple with a container just for them, little cup, little shaker, little scoop. I made it so they could make it, so they would want it. They were so delicious that they would want to have it, and that you could start a conversation on healthy nutrition. And they can also put together in their subconscious, it tastes good and it's good for me, which is so often in our brain, good for me means yucky. And I wanted to discramble all that so that they could realize and have it as a must, a no-brainer, that things can taste good and be good for me. And you can start a conversation when you look at the ingredients panel. I made it so that, as opposed to the Shakeology, this is designed just for kids 4 years old and older. It's for them. Everything in the back on the nutritional panels are ingredients that you recognize, that you know well, that you can start a dialogue with your child, that they understand what it's for and what it is. You can also encourage them to eat those things. So that was the purpose. That was my why, is that I didn't have it as a child. And I think part of what I went through was the not having of some stuff in my diet, the not understanding my body. I had allergies, but nobody understood that I had those. They were really not educated that way. It was not part of our neighborhood. That was just not organic. I never heard organic through my childhood. So, and those are new challenges that are becoming more real for our children. So I made it also because my child is full of allergies and sensitivities. And so there's many things he couldn't have. And he's this crazy picky eater. I realized that a lot more kids were like him than I thought. So it's also done in a way that it smells good, it tastes good, the color is lovely, so that all their senses will want it to the best of our abilities. And I made it simple. It's the building block of children their age, what they vitally need. And simple, not complicated. Pediatrician will see the back and totally love it. Most of them approve. Actually, it's 4 out of 5 pediatrician approved. I have no idea what the one is. I would love to meet that pediatrician and ask him, why on earth are these food not approved by you? It's interesting. I really need to figure out something about that. But anyway, 4 out of 5 is amazing. Those things are not easy to get. So that's the principle behind my why. And And I think that as much as we know here many, many things, it's just not happening. And as a mom, I have lived that this kid really needs to find nutrition in areas where it's not obvious because he's allergic to so many things. These areas, these foods don't taste that great. Couldn't get him to eat it. I was stuck. So it asked of me a lot of creativity to make him eat decent. And then I created this shake to help myself just as much. Okay, I'll stop here. Tell me what else.
Yeah, no, this is wonderful information. We can hear your heart and your passion, and I love that. And I love some tough love. And I think you call a lot of us out on, maybe that excuse of the expense. Because I will tell you this is, I've heard from some of our teammates, well, I'm already buying 1 bag of Shakeology or 2 bags of Shakeology for my husband and I, and now I'm going to buy this. And I have 2 kids, right? So is that 4 bags that I'm buying every single month? And so, I mean, the tough love is, take a step back and where are you spending some money that maybe you could flip-flop for something that's great.
Look at the snack that your kids are eating. The snack alone. Take a few out that are just not that great for them, but they're eating it. They're eating something. Very often with families, I would look at the snack. That alone, well, if he has the Daily Sunshine, full serving of fruit and vegetable, 10 grams of protein, 3 grams of healthy fats, good fiber, vitamin D, E, C, calcium, look at all that. Look at the panel of your snacks. Take some of those snacks away and give them the Daily Sunshine instead. First of all, it's a million times better for their bodies. They'll enjoy it just as well. I think I've heard of one kid who didn't like the strawberry banana, but thank God she liked the chocolate. What I'm saying is most kids loved one of the 2 flavors. And look at what they're getting in the other snack. That alone is a shift. What about your snacks? What are you eating? How committed are you to your diet? There is no elevator pitch to health. It's choices. It's hierarchy. What matters most? And the reason why I gave my stories is to look at you right now and say, no, I have earned that right. I have been broke most of my life. I've been wealthy for a very short 8-9 years. Before that, I worked my butt off and I made some important choices. Didn't go to the movies once a month. I did it. Like I sat down, I had a budget and I had to figure out, do I want my iPhone upgrade? And I wait in line. All those people waiting online are not filthy rich people. And they wait online for hours, a whole day, and spend crazy $700 to get their iPhone upgrade, which nowadays doesn't give you that much more anyway. Mm-hmm. There's so many choices that we make that are not beneficial to our physical and emotional and spiritual well-being or intellectual well-being. Upgrade on HBO, but we cut on our health. And do you think your kids don't see that? Do you think they don't notice what your choices are? What matters to you, your phone or your health? And these are the choices we have to be really rational about it, because all of that is super cumulative. It accumulates in your system. That's what I realized. I didn't get sick suddenly at 20-something. It was an accumulation of things that created a depletion in my system, and my immune couldn't cope anymore. Not enough good food, too much working, not enough sleep, all sorts of stresses that were not that important, that I was too young to understand it wasn't that important. And there's a lot of things that are not that important in our lives. We give it great attention and it doesn't deserve it. It saps us from vital health. That also to me is something you sit down and you look at, what do I get upset at all the time? Is it worth my energy? Is it worth my health? Because when you get upset, your stress hormone, your cortisol hormones go way up, and that is as detrimental as Doritos chips. So all these things are as important to sit down with yourself and choose what matters to you. And nowadays, I think one of the biggest challenge we have in our society is that there's tons of advertisement. And we have it's not just TV. In my days, it was TV, and we had it on just at night, and billboard when you drove. It wasn't that much. Right now, kids are bombarded. TV, iPad, iPhone, all the other gadget, and they work on it. They go to school and work on it. They play games. They are bombarded with ads. It's insane. They are never left alone. And so it is even more important to be diligent at home. Sit down and talk about that as well. It's going to be hard. They are going to be tempted everywhere. But if they have you, if they have a system at home where they see you sit down and say, these 2 snacks, let's look at the bag. And let's look at the back nutritional panel. Let's look what's in it. You know what? There's nothing much in there. It's loaded with salt, with preservative, with artificial colorant. It has nothing in it for you, honey. All right, let's cut that out. Sitting down and showing this behavior is so important for them, because at some point they don't have you there to help them make choices. At some point, they're old enough that the outside influences are bigger than the inside influencer, mom, dad, in the household. And this is why it's important to have, I'm talking about our platform because that's what we created to the best of our abilities. But it could be any platform that brings health. I'm hoping, like I say always, that there's many other Beachbody stuff out there, like other people creating platform like we do, because we need them. Because, right now, if they see you get up in the morning or whenever, push play, do your workout, hydrate yourself with good water, even if it's the little $40 little water purifier that you pour your water in, it cleans it. These choices, having your shake, them having their shake, sitting down, looking at the ingredients of what they eat, all that's all they're going to have. When they grow up, all these things is all they're going to have. And it's going to matter so much, because if we teach them that health is the most important thing, their emotional and physical, intellectual and spiritual health is crucial to who they're going to become down the line and what choices are going to make down the line when you're not there to protect them. And that is constantly what I think when I talk to my boy. One day I'm not there. One day whatever I say, do, will become what he has as his foundation. So it's very important.
That was a lot of truth bombs right there, Isabelle. I'll tell you what, girl. What matters to you, your phone or your health? Oh my gosh, right? I mean,
or the T-shirt with the little label, the Nike shoes.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's so true. And what's funny is it's like we have to still remember as parents, as leaders of homes, of communities, of organizations, of schools, where we're an influence, that we have to teach everywhere we go. Just how we as coaches teach our challengers how to eat clean and healthy. Like, a lot of us aren't doing that in our home with our own children. We're still saying, here's your granola bar, here's your bag of
look at your granola bar, because
yes,
that's why I did that. I must have ordered 30 granola bars and drinks, all that. And I looked at them. They're just not that great at all. It's very disappointing. Mm-hmm. And I also, by the way, before I forget, I urge you to watch the, what's it called?
The Surge.
Yeah. The Surge 411 that happened, was it yesterday?
Yeah, last night. Mm-hmm.
Please, please, please. There were 3 coaches that were unbelievable, with very tactile, specific tools, no-nonsense behavior of how, as many are complaining why it's so hard, they are killing it. Mm-hmm. And but look at them, talk about tough love. They were on. So I urge you all to go and check them out. They were so amazing. I was so proud of them. And they have a lot of tools for you. So please, please, please watch The Urge. Also, I have a 10 top questions daily sunshine. I think it's on our YouTube Beachbody platform that answers a top 10 question about the daily sunshine. Okay, I just had to say that before I forgot. But I wanted to go into the daily sunshine was also designed, by the way, I'm going to by the way twice. It's yummy. It is delicious. You personally as parents are going to love it. I have not heard of one parent who did not end up drinking some of the Daily Sunshine. It's when you have a sweet tooth, it's an amazing little snack for us as well. So I was going to go back to, I designed it as well with in mind all the parents that work, the mamas that have two jobs, or they work, they take care of the family, they clean the house, they cook, they drive the kids to school. And, you know, in that context, there's always stuff happening that you just don't expect, that you're running late, it's a last minute, or the kid is sick and he needs to eat, is getting better. I'm just giving you very concrete things that I went through as well. And he's starting to have an appetite, but nothing is appealing to him or her, and he's getting weak, but he needs something. The Daily Sunshine worked. He went right in. He wanted it. I've had a situation where, you know, even though he has an hour and a half to eat dinner, he's not hungry, I'm not hungry, I'm not hungry. And then it's like 7:45, 15 minutes before going to bed, and now he's hungry. I don't want him to go to bed with a full stomach. Don't have time to cook food. Give him a Daily Sunshine, added some avocado in there, some almond butter, boom, full meal. Or they really want something that's just carbs, like pasta, and they don't want anything else, but you know they need to balance that meal. Daily Sunshine before or after. And they always feel like they have one up on you when you give them the Daily Sunshine. They think they're winning, you know, they got you. But you know that they've gotten their fruit, vegetable, protein, fiber, and fat. Most of the stuff that in one meal they rarely get. I created it so that there was less battles between the moms and their children, because it's so exhausting as a mom. We say no all the time. We want to have quality time with them, but we have all these things that they have to do, that we tell them what to do, what not to do, and not enough just hanging time. And so this battle about the food, I felt like if they had a place where they wouldn't have to battle quite as much, it'd be so lovely to have a little respite time there. You know, they wake up late, or, you know, they spill something on their clothes. Now you're running late. They haven't had a good enough breakfast. Daily Sunshine. On and on. At school, they have like no time to eat. They have no time to eat. And so very often the food comes back half eaten because they haven't had time to chew. And Daily Sunshine, they don't fall asleep. They're still awake and able to absorb the information because they had a good nutritional snack. So the examples abound. And like I said, I cannot tell you how, you know, I made sure it was dairy-free, sugar-free, gluten-free, non-GMO, and QAI organic certified. I made sure that I could reach as many parents as possible with sensitivities and allergies, that it was as clean as possible so most little bodies would absorb it well. I thought of all these things that we as parents have such a hard time to get into our little guys' bodies. And I made it in a way that it would be ease and grace. There would be no fight. Most of them would ask for it. So ask me questions. Are they like people asking questions saying, no, but she doesn't understand, she doesn't get it, blah, blah, blah. I want the no. I want to go at that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to ask a question, and then you guys type in any questions that you have for Isabelle in the chat box. So here's a real scenario in my house is that my children, we were making them Shakeology with a half a scoop of Shakeology. And so now we're, we've transitioned to Daily Sunshine, but I didn't know, and I don't know how to explain why. Like, I just told my kids, well, this is for grownups, and now we've made something for kids. So this is for you guys. So you guys drink Daily Sunshine and not half a scoop of Shakeology. But I don't know the real explanation or the real truth. Like, if what I'm saying is right,
it's true. It's one of the truths.
Yeah.
There's many.
Yeah. So what's the real, like, how do I explain that to some of our coaches who are still giving their children half a scoop of Shakeology versus Daily Sunshine? Like, what's the best explanation for that choice?
Well, there's a lot. One of them, you just said it. So I did the same thing with my boy, right? Because we don't want to give them a full serving of Shakeology. It's a complex drink, and we're wondering about the herbs, the adaptogen. Not that I'm not saying it's bad for them at all, but a lot of people have interrogation point, and most kids don't drink a whole thing. Even when you give them the whole thing, my son, he doesn't drink the whole thing. So most of the parents told me the same thing. So they don't get all the benefit because they don't drink the whole thing. And it doesn't have the kind of perfect taste that kids really, really would drink the whole thing. So that's one of the problems, is they wouldn't get full benefits. Mm-hmm. The Daily Sunshine in one serving that they are allowed to have the full serving would get all of the benefit, not half the protein, not half the vitamins, the whole thing. So that was an important aspect of it. The other aspect of it is we didn't want anybody to be worried, meaning that this is a meal, this is a snack, but based on what we want them to eat at their meals, right? Mm-hmm. So it is, again, a whole food. It's simple food. You recognize everything. You bring it to your doctor. None of them are going to be afraid of anything that's on the bag. It's food. They get it. They understand it. And it's the amount that kids 4 years old and plus need. Same thing with the protein, the fat, the veggie, the fruits. It's all designed for their bodies, what they need in the ratio that they need. And that's a big difference. It's for them. When I designed with Darren and the gang, we didn't design the Shakeology for kids in mind, right? We designed it for a little older and adult on. So, and then I got all these things, especially since we had all these herbs, and many doctors don't even know about these herbs. They get one class of nutrition in their 4, 5 years, 8 years of schooling. They don't get nutritional education. So most of them don't even know what ashwagandha is, what a adaptogen mushroom is. They don't. Acai, camu. So they look at that and I'm like, I don't know about it. And then, of course, we have to rely on our doctors. So then it puts a little doubt in our mind. And many people would decide not to, or give them just a little bit, which is fine. They give them a little bit, but then they don't get the full amount of protein, the full amount of vitamins, the full amount of benefit of the herbs and the botanical and all that stuff. So this is the difference, is that I made it simple. I looked at kids don't get the basics. They don't get near the basics. I knew that. But when I did the research with my team, it was appalling what I discovered. I don't know if parents really get what's happening in their diet. And if they get school food, help me. Like, God knows what that is. So if you have no choice because you have 2 jobs, and I know that's possible, you don't have time to cook for them every day or prep or do all that. So you do it 2 times a day or 3 times a day, and then they have cafeteria food. I'm sorry to tell you, usually it's not that great at all. And I think you all know that. With that, you can Google it. So thank God now you would have the Daily Sunshine where they get the full serving of what they need, so you can breathe. Yes, I didn't have time, but you know what? They've got that. They've got the essentials. The essentials are just not gotten in kids' bodies nowadays. That's just the way it is. And so what do you do about it? That's what I did about it. I decided to create the best that I could create. The same way that when we did Shakeology, we didn't go cheap. We decided to create the best, to do what needed to be done in terms of technology, to make sure that it was bioavailable, which is very challenging to get. Everything's alive. Everything is vital. Same thing with Daily Sunshine. We go, we test the soil, we go to meet the farmers. So we went all the way with the Daily Sunshine as well. So it was alive by the time your kids ingest it, which is very hard to get even in a meal, even in the food that you get. So I'm not saying you can't, and I'm definitely not saying don't worry about feeding them a good meal or good meals. They have the Daily Sunshine. I'm saying, thank God you have that Daily Sunshine. They've got that. Hold on to that. They've got that one thing no matter what your situation is. And of course, try to build on that. That's the whole point. Build on exercising. Build on drinking enough water, not sodas. You don't need any sodas. You don't need any chips, you know? There's so many things we don't need. Do you need French fries all the time? No, you don't. There's so many choices that if you're honest with yourself, it's drastic. The changes are drastic. Can you do it? Can you uphold that truth for yourself so your kids witness that and start getting excited about it, as opposed to, like that? You've got to build an excitement, a thrill. What else can you do for your little body, sweetie? For that body, that one body that you will have for the rest of your life. What else can we do? to help each other create a strong body. Check it out. Check your pantries. You know, when you go to the movies, do you buy popcorn? Do you know what is in those popcorns? You know, have a daily sunshine before you go, or bring it with you. I sneak it in all the time.
I do the same thing.
Yeah, because his friends, a lot of his friends eat all that stuff. No, I'm not going to let Danny eat that.
Right.
I don't feel like I love him. Personally, mothers, I know that it's been in our DNA. That's all we know. We love them. They're a little sad, or they're having fun, or it's a fun time, and we give them goodies, cakes and candies and chips and all that, so they have fun with their friends. Guess what? That's not love. That's not love. Back in our mother's days, it might have been, at least it was real milk, real ingredients. They made a cake, it was the real deal. But it's not the real deal anymore. It's God knows what that's in there. So you've got to do that. It's not a joke. I take this very seriously, and I try to have fun with it.
I love that. I mean, it's so true. And we kind of talked about that earlier, that, you know, a lot of our team were moms from the Midwest for the most part. And we are here because we started our journey, you know, and we started our journey. And, but part of our job is to keep that going within our own families and in our own homes. And it is hard to tell your kids no. And it's hard for them to, you know, hear like, well, yes, Johnny's doing that, but you can't. Like, it's so hard, but that's love. I really do appreciate how you shared it that way, Isabelle, because that's true. I mean,
Aaron,
it's our job as parents.
It is. And it didn't used to be so hard, but we are bombarded, like I said, with mixed messages.
Yeah.
And we're making it complicated. This is why I didn't want a daily sunshine to be complicated. It's not complicated. It's your fruit, your vegetable, your fat, your protein, your fiber, and a few extra vitamins. That's it. It's not complicated, but you need a lot of that.
Yeah. So, I mean, the bottom line is like, we have to make choices. And
I was going to say, Aaron, that, you know, my kid's been raised like that. So guess what? Meaning it's been raised where I tell him all the time why I make decisions, why I make choices. So the last few years, it's very interesting. So, you know, he's a little more solid because he was very fragile. So now I've built him, he's good. And that was hard work. I didn't come from a kid who was naturally just easy tummy. Everything was easy. No, everything was hell. So I'm very proud that he and I built a strong, healthy foundation. He's healthy now. So I say, you know what, honey, you can handle it now. You can have, if you want to have that slice of pizza, it has to be gluten-free, but most parents know that. You can have your pizza, and you know me, I don't really like these fluorescent candy, purple, yellow thing, because you know what's in there. But your body can handle it, because overall, you feed your body well. So your body will handle it. And he looks at me and like, it's very hard, Mama, because I know what's in there. It's very hard. And then, so I'm like, wow, I'm letting him. And so often he chooses not. And often he'll say, because over the course of the years and years, I found very healthy ways of letting him have sweet stuff, like avocado pudding, you know, chocolate pudding made with avocado, cacao, stevia, some cinnamon, you know, you can do it. There's so many yummy things that we have available also on the Beachbody platform. So he knows that he can reach out to things that are delicious but good for him. So he'll say, no, you know what, I'll just bring this thing here and I'll be just fine. Or he'll have it and he's like, you know, it wasn't as good as my memory thought it would be. It just wasn't, because now his taste buds have changed. So once your taste buds have changed, what used to be yummy, you taste the fact that it's not food, that it's just a bundle of chemicals, and you taste it. So actually ends up not being that great. Or he'll have it and he'll say, the whole thing did not feel good, Mama. Like, because I tell him, I said, you know, it's a birthday. Your body doesn't care that it's a birthday. Your body still needs food, and your body still doesn't like chemicals, birthday or not. But you can handle it. You can do it. We've done a good job. No, you know, my body did not want to have chemicals. So I'm realizing that now I'm giving him more and more freedom, and he's actually making the correct choices. Now, does that mean that he'll always make the correct choices? Of course not. Can he rebel one day or one time at some point in his life and do the opposite? Of course he could. But I know that that foundation is so real that as he becomes more mature and gets back into, if he was going to get off the wagon, gets back into it, he will go back to health. Or if he gets ill, he will know how to get out of it because he was taught the right way to handle his body. It never goes away.
Yeah, that's great. Well, and it's just, we have to have truthful conversations about our children, about nutrition. I mean, that's
about ourselves.
Yeah, we have to be very truthful about that. And I think for a lot of us, it might mean confronting where we are now.
Yeah.
And saying, is this okay? Is this me showing love to my children and to, those I care about most? And what choices do we need to make a little bit differently around here, so that we can, just pour love into our kids in every way, shape, and form. I mean, I challenge you guys on this call, to take that look, that hard
and then
look.
Give me question, Aaron.
Yeah.
Give me questions.
I have not gotten any questions from anyone. You guys, no one has any questions for Isabelle right now?
I'm going to tackle you.
She's ready, you guys. She wants to hear from you guys. So
there's no easy way to radically change your health. There's no easy way to get back to that place that you know you can be at. And when you listen to the surge, you'll see the people that went all the way, people that didn't have, we're not talking about rich people. We're talking about basic. They went all the way with it. And they're the one who reaped the greatest benefit on all levels of abundance, not just emotional and psychological well-being and physical well-being, but a financial well-being as well. That, the closer you get to someone who really got healthy, who really did it, who was radical in themselves, and you rub shoulders with them, that excitement is contagious. That level of health and vibrancy and complete confidence in oneself, complete knowing what you are, who you are, why you do what you do, why you're showing up on this platform. It is contagious. Once you get close to the real deal, you know when it's not real. And it's contagious and you want that. There's nothing more appealing than that. And then as a mom, once you see your child grow up with all that stuff that was so hard for us to learn, it's natural in them, that it's a no-brainer in them. They make the right choice so that in life, they will not be held back by all these decisions that should be automatic on how to take care of themselves so they can focus on their career. They can focus on a healthy relationship, that they have a foundation of healthy decision-making, that their emotions were not channeled to their food. They didn't feel through eating. That eating was a delicious, lovely way to love thyself, to deal with yourself the way that you were deserving of from the moment you were born. God does not point the finger and say, you don't deserve health. You don't deserve wealth. You don't deserve well-being. We were all born exactly the same, with the same amount of deserving the best of everything. And anybody who tells you have less of anything is not telling you the truth. And so we hear everywhere, and I teach Danny that, looking at the commercials and stuff, you don't need any of that to be loved, to be accepted, to be wanted, to be the most beautiful person. You don't need that pair of jeans. You don't need to speak that way. You don't need to have that bracelet. You don't need to have that brand on your running shoes. My son doesn't have brand running shoes, so he doesn't do his hair. It's a mess. Like, that's not it. You're loved for you, baby. God built you with this body, that color of skin, that hair, those brown eyes, and it's the best that he thought you deserved. So if it's good enough for God, it's good enough for you. And all that he gave you was perfect health. He gave you a beautiful body that is capable of healing itself from many, many, many things. And so that's his foundation. So you don't need to spend money on anything to be deserving of attention. And if somebody thinks that you don't have enough of whatever thing out there, so that you don't deserve their attention, that's okay. Goodbye. Be well. So the only thing that we can take care of that we were given from birth is our love, our compassion, our level of ability to be happy. We look at the kids, kids laughing, children laughing, their curiosity, their enthusiasm for learning, wanting to discover the world. They want to create stuff, and we zap them from that. We zap them and we numb their bodies. Let's keep them vibrant physically, emotionally, intellectually, and in terms of self-love. And self-caring for oneself it's sort of cultivating God's love for oneself. If he, it, she, whatever you want to call the universal power that made us alive, if it loves us enough to have us here, then let's take care of it. And I feel I'm that passionate about the planet Earth because that was also created for us, and we need to take care of it. So that's my big speech on my tough love.
I love it. I love it. We do have a question. Megan is wanting to unmute herself. Go ahead, Megan, unmute yourself. We want to see you too, though, sister.
Yes.
Can we see you, your beautiful face? Your screen is muted too. Are you going to do it, girly?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can we see you?
No, sorry, not tonight.
Oh, come on.
My God.
Okay, go ahead.
Megan, we would love you no matter what. If not here, when?
I'm hiding in my pantry, and I don't wake my kids up.
Whatever. Okay, you ask your question.
So my daughter is very athletic. She is very coordinated and she's 8 and very balanced, but she lacks the strength that she needs. And I get comments from other parents a lot. Well, if you fed that kid some real food, which is what she does eat. Yeah, right. So, and I've asked my pediatrician some recommendations on how to kind of build her up because she is very thin. She's in the 5th percentile for her weight. She does not eat a lot of protein. That's where I struggle. Fruits and vegetables, no problem at all. Protein is my struggle. Do you have any recommendations for proteins that are kid-friendly, that aren't necessarily meat, that she might like?
Well,
or any other recommendations?
So are you talking about Daily Sunshine? Because Daily Sunshine has 10 grams of protein per serving.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she's still drinking Shakeology right now.
Okay, but is she drinking a whole one?
No, just a half.
Okay, so then I would say if you can't or you don't want to go with the Daily Sunshine, then in the half, can you blend it with avocado? Can you add almond butter?
Absolutely. Okay.
Because per avocado,
I don't, but I can.
So yeah, and she won't taste it, and it makes it super creamy, like a smoothie, like a very thick smoothie. So you can do avocado, you can do almond milk, you can do almond butter or nut butter of your choice. All these have, amazing amount of protein and fiber. And avocado would definitely do it, and more healthy fats. And combination, synergy of elements is always the best. And then, so she doesn't eat like chicken, she doesn't eat any meat? I'm trying to figure out.
Not really, very rarely.
Okay, so Danny has, seeds, nuts, beans, lentils. Do you know lentils?
Yes.
Okay, lentil is an amazing thing. You can also, I'm trying to think of the shake, what you can add in your Shakeology, because she's picky, right? So you're trying to put it in a smoothie.
She's picky when it comes to meats, yes.
That's what I mean. So you're trying to get it. Well, for my son is mostly vegetarian. So eggs, does she have eggs?
Okay.
Okay, so
she does.
You can throw an egg in the smoothie. She won't taste it. And so if you want to do one smoothie with the egg, another smoothie with the avocado, another time it's with the almond butter and a nut milk of your choice, you can do that. You can also do grains, beans, vegetable mixture. So any kind of legume that you can mix with any kind of rice or quinoa. Quinoa is quinoa, Quinoa, I think. I don't know if you know it. That's high
Yes,
protein.
she loves that. She does.
Yes. So make a lentil, quinoa, and vegetable medley. That's great for protein. Bean burrito, that's great for protein. And if she has the shake with these addition like that, she should be fine. I mean, the fact that she's strong, you know, coordination could be a whole other thing. Like my son was off in terms of coordination until he was about, just now, he's just starting to get coordination down. He was an uncoordinated kid for some reason, and I think he had plenty of protein. So, but that's my quick tip. Or look at our recipe for that chocolate pudding. That's basically an avocado, a very ripe avocado. That's loaded as well. And you can have a dessert, and it's protein and fat and fiber and vitamins.
Yeah, those are great tips. That's really, I'm glad you asked that, Megan.
Perfect.
I think a lot.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Megan. I hope it works.
Yeah, that's great. And then, okay, so how about we ask one more question, since I'm kind of noticing time, and we've been on here about an hour, and so
also a medley of nuts, macadamia, currant, raisins, almonds, you know, medley, a little bit of sea salt, and that's great too. There's so many ways.
Yeah, I think next we need a kid cookbook, Isabelle. Yeah. Like that would be amazing, right?
That would be nice. I know we have tons of recipe on Beachbody. I'm not as privy to all that other stuff on the platform, but I know we do.
Yeah. Well, and Autumn's done a lot with kids recipes.
Yes.
And yes. She's done a lot. So I'm going to ask you one more question from Christina. So she said, I'm reading it here. She's excited about the certified gluten-free and Daily Sunshine. And let's see. But she said, what would be the reality of Daily Sunshine or vegan Shakeology certified free of the top 8 allergens? She said, we're a family with food allergies and intolerance. And she appreciates the may contain labels since Shakeology is processed in the same facility. However, some families have to avoid for that fear of cross-contamination. Is this a possibility? Because I think we all know, like, the cross-contamination is not there, but you just have to say that. So I guess it's a good question.
Well, I want to correct. It's not there. It's highly unlikely.
Right.
Because even in the building, to have that certification, you have to make sure it's not in a building. Mm-hmm. So especially when it's hard to get, what's the word in English? The vendor, the facility. It's hard to have a facility that can process as much volume as the Beachbody need. So it's not obvious to get a whole building available. But a question is to have the Shakeology. She can't have the Shakeology, right? Why can't she have the Daily Sunshine?
I don't know.
Free of all that.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I think it's just she's wondering if they're ever going to have this label that they're allergen free, basically, that they may not have been processed in a facility. Are
you guys going to stop complaining about the price? Because you want it all, but you want it for $30.
Right.
And I was saying that being funny, but at the same time, it is a reality. The more we do, the more expensive it is. But the Daily Sunshine is certified all these things. It's another aspect that I knew that they would not market it that way, but I thought about all the people that are scared of doing the Shakeology for all these sensitivities, but the Daily Sunshine they could do, most of them. Mm-hmm. So I always thought about that. I knew it was not going to be used as marketing, but that all the people or all the kids that can't have Shakeology for whatever reason, or whether adults are on medications and they're afraid with the herbs, or the doctors are afraid, the Daily Sunshine is clean and basic foundation of good eating, clean eating. So I thought that could be useful for that subgroup that cannot have the Shakeology for whatever reason. The Shakeology is very, very hard to have it certified because of 60 plus ingredients and because it comes from all around the world. So, if you go to Asia or Peru to gather elements that are made by people that have been farming for thousands of years in a specific way who don't speak English, it would give us take us years to train them, and on it goes. What do we do with your monthly delivery in the meantime? It is not obvious with that many ingredients. Whenever we can, we do. And this is also why the Daily Sunshine was a great combination here for all these challenges that people may have with the Shakeology, they won't have with the Daily Sunshine.
Yeah, and I liked that you reminded us that Daily Sunshine is also perfect for that adult who has those issues. I think that's right. A great reminder. Okay, I think we're good. I mean, Isabelle, this was fantastic. I love your tough love. I love your straightforwardness, your transparency, and just, almost shooting it straight to us tonight, but also with so much heart and passion. And I really
Absolutely. And Erin, I know you had questions and stuff. Do you feel like I was able to give information so you know how to talk about the product? Like the Daily Sunshine is a 3-in-1. That's what we say. Go to my video. It's 3-in-1: fruit, vegetable, protein, healthy fats, fiber, a complete snack. It's like a mini meal. And easy to make, easy to carry. Kids can make it themselves. It's all the missing links, all the elements that are so challenging for parents to get in their little kids' bodies. Erin, I want to make sure that I gave you what you needed.
I do. I 100% feel like you covered everything, and you addressed every question that we sent your way. So yes, I do. I think you did. And I really feel like our coaches have gotten a lot tonight. I don't know. Have you guys gotten a lot out of this tonight? It's been helpful. Okay. I think so. Absolutely. So, you have filled our toolkits even more. And I think you also pulled at our heartstrings a little bit tonight as a mom, and I think that was needed and necessary. And so I think that everyone really appreciated your story and your heart and all of the information you gave us.
And mothers, it's really up to us. I mean, dads are totally part of that too, but we know that at the end of the day, a lot falls on moms, and it's up to us on all levels for everything. Like so much of what we are, how we think about ourselves, how we feel about ourselves, what we create, what hierarchy we create within ourselves will manifest itself in our kids. And so we are very important. It's worth it. It's worth to cut out that which kills us, that which is not good for us, however difficult it is. It's worth it. And, there's solutions all around. And this is what I love about the platform. This is why Carl cares so much. And like even my child, he's afraid of sport teams. Like he's afraid, he doesn't like the aggressivity of all sport team, like soccer and football and basketball. And so finding a way to introduce exercise was very important. Again, hit play with all these choices. It came into the home. Don't have to make it a challenging thing to drive somewhere, to go try to be liked by a group of people, right? So all that we offer is always to make your home the best, healthiest place to be in, so that they can bring that with them once they're outside the home. And so my kid was a perfect example for that as well. Like he's really looking forward for double time. Like he and I are looking forward to that. I'm starting to be a little stronger. I'm telling him, you know what, Mama is getting better. At some point I'll be able to be double time with you. So we are trying to bring ease and grace to all these difficult elements that are important for your well-being. And mamas, it's up to you guys. We're important in the world, not only for our kids, but for the whole planet, because we get it. We get it. We give birth and we nurture what we give birth to, and then we let them go. And that's planet Earth. It has all these amazing gifts to offer us, and we're destroying it. And we have to make different choices. So when you buy Doritos, when you buy sodas, when you make these choices, you're choosing not to nurture Mother Earth, which gives you the very element that your kids need to be healthy. We need to keep mothers healthy and alive and well. So let's get smart here.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Isabelle.
You're very welcome.
Yes, thank you. We appreciate your time and your knowledge and your heart and everything tonight. So just once again, you blew us away in a wonderful way. So thank you.
And you blew me away too, Erin and everybody. I understand the challenges and I get it. And I'm proud of you for understanding all that and still moving forward. So thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. You guys have an awesome night tonight.